Hey everybody, I just wanted to show you some gear that I unfortunately have to recycle because I don't have room to store this stuff anymore, and I'm slowly cleaning up as much as I can. What you see here, which we'll review over the next few videos, is a pile of CDR, WCD, DVD, various drives here, all quite old, some from 1999, over 20 years old now, up to about 2005. I'm going to try to throw everything out, but maybe one or two drives that I think might be useful for down the road in case I have to access, some kind of CD or DVD media. What we also have here are a bunch of floppy drives, 3.5 inch. Again, most of them are useless. I'll keep one just in case I ever have to get stuff off a 3.5 inch floppy. And then down here is a zip drive. You can see that also, I believe, can access 3.5 inch floppies if you need. Then I have some an old router. This is a Linksys router, and it's probably still does the business, but it's from back, when was this thing made? I think there was a date code 2007. So, these things are pretty cheap nowadays and they're much faster. I don't know if I really need this thing. There's an Asus Wi-Fi access point and RTN102 Plus. Again, there's better ones out there now. More security, more configuration, faster. So, I'm not sure if I really need to keep this thing around. And plus I got to find the power supplies for most of these anyway. This is an old Vonage VoIP box, which I can't really use much for anyway now because I don't have any. I'm not using Vonage anymore. A couple of old hard drives, again ancient. The date code there, as you can see, is 99, so over 20 years old. I can just copy the stuff off the drives and dump them. This is a printer server that allowed the old USB only printers to work with on a LAN back in the day when most printers did not have network connectivity. So we'll review some of these things. Oh, one more thing, one gem of an item here, which is an old US Robotics 33.6 K-baud Faxmodem. That was the amazing thing back then. Unfortunately today, completely obsolete. I'm not even sure if there's any dial-up modem installations even in existence anymore. I mean, I could use it to fax, but who the hell cares about that either? So sadly, it's got to go in the graveyard as well. We're going to start off with this bad boy, a US Robotics 33.6 Faxmodem, the Sportster. This was, quite an item back in the day. I saved up, and got this thing back in 1998. So it's now, 22 years old, and going on to 23. It had dip switches on the back here. You could set a bunch of stuff here for various sort of, options. It was quite cool. It had, you could talk to the modem. You could set different parameters up, all that fun stuff back in the day. It connected through this large port here. I forgot how many pins these are, but lots. And then it would connect up to your serial port back on your computer. You'd have your phone jack going to one of these, and then it would go through to just a regular phone if you wanted to still pick up. And this was the power supply. Okay, so it's all here. Unfortunately, not much more you can do with this thing now. It's most dial-up modem accesses have been supplanted now. Everyone's on basically broadband internet, so this is pretty useless. But it used to be pretty cool for setting up BBSs back in the day, or you could call up BBSs, dial-up connections, and so on. But yeah, unfortunately, there's not much use for this, even as a fax modem. If you want to use the fax, only, it's kind of useless as well. Nowadays, you have the computers pretty much come standard with the ability to do it right out of the box. And I have internal cards which will let you do things and those internal cards can essentially handle all the faxing capability and everything else. So yeah, not much use to them anymore, which is sad because this, you know, was quite a piece of hardware to buy back then. So let's see what's under the hood. I'm gonna try to open this up. I haven't opened it ever before. Nope, there's nothing there. I guess there's no screws under those pads. It just opens up like this. There you are. Okay, so what was underneath this thing? Let's take it out. Okay, there's not much. Oh, is it screwed in there? What is that? Yeah, it was screwed in there. Okay. So here's the volume control. You could actually hear the thing making the noises if you wanted to. Power, this is the power button, on off. The power supply went in here. So this must be a bunch of power related control here. And then you've got your speaker, some kind of transformer, or the relay maybe to click in your lines. I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's see what kind of chip was in here. Here's Intel, date code 9297. Let's see. I can't tell exactly. That's a flash memory. It says flash on there. Here's your US Robotics chip. Some Texas Instrument chip here. Another Texas Instrument chip right there. And yeah, pretty much there you have it. So by this point, 3Com owned US Robotics. I'm not sure when they bought it and how the history behind it, but at some point they merged, and that's pretty much it. I mean, fairly nowadays though, most of this can be had on one chip. I mean, they've integrated the whole thing. But back then, you know, you could see it required quite a bit of separate components to do the job. But yeah, sadly, can't do much with it now. What is this, the 33rd week of 1998, I guess? Is that when this thing was made? But yeah, that's it there. And we're back with some more old technology reviews. Going through my pile here as we recycle. And what do we have here? This is a StarTech.com wired printer server. Let's find out when this thing was made and figure out what it does. So here's the instruction manual. It came with a D-Link driver CD here, and basically you've got your print server, the CD-ROM, and a power adapter. Now, the way this worked was it would allow you to connect your printer, which was USB based, for network printing. See, setting up your DP301 for network printing. Okay, and this is, as you can see, it would run on Windows XP. That was what the driver was here. You would set your the address of the device, and you essentially, with the driver, you'd be able to send data through the network to the box, and you'd plug your printer into the box. You see? So this was back in the day. You know, this was printed in 2005, so that's around 15 years ago. This was back in the day when most printers did not have built-in internet or Ethernet capability. So what would you do? You'd plug your printer into the USB port here using such a cable. See? The one end would be this format of USB, the other one would be this kind that would go to your printer, and you'd have your power in here. This would hook up to your LAN, and this device would become a node on your LAN. Basically, it'd have an IP address, and you could send data to it, and it would then push it out the USB port to the printer. So let's have a look inside just to see what's in here. Now, unfortunately, I have no more use for this thing. Most printers that I have from that era are dead anyway and slow and useless. And every new printer I have now, which is pretty cheap to get, has either network or even wired or wireless connectivity, right? Most of them we just hook up to your Wi-Fi even, so you don't even need any kind of connection at all by wire. So sadly, this device is completely useless at this point, but it'll be interesting to see what's in here. Now, it looks like there may be some screws in here that I can't see because it's not coming off easily. Let's see. I open this up and I still can't open the box. So there's something hidden. Hold on. Right. Oh, there we go. It was just some clips holding it together. Okay. So there we are. And what do we have? RDC. I don't know what the company that is. MX. Taiwan. There's a IC Plus. Don't even know what that is. I'm trying to see if there's a date code in here on any of these chips that makes some sense. Okay, so I didn't flip over the chip yet, or the board. We have an Ali chip here, dated 27th week of 2005. Etron Tech. I don't see a really obvious date code on that one, but the board itself says 42nd week of 05. Anyway, there you have it. This is a printer server back in the day when most printers did not have any kind of LAN connectivity, and therefore this allowed us to then connect a regular USB printer to the LAN to act as a network printer. Just a little add-on for those days when it wasn't a standard feature. Now, of course, it's obsolete because almost every printer has LAN connectivity or is even wireless. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and on to some more gear in the next segment.